Yeah, actually, let's just do introductions first. So I'm Jihos. I'm the community manager of Axie Infinity. Yeah, I'm a CryptoKitty player. That's how I got, I guess, introduced to the crypto gaming space. And found out about Axie Infinity, started to get a little bit more involved, and yeah, I guess the rest is history. I'm community manager now. It's been a lot of fun, and yeah, I think a lot of exciting things are happening. And yeah, with both the features that are being developed and launched, and the community is growing, I think, in a really interesting way as well. And yeah, so I'm joined by Arctic, who is, yeah, a very active member of the community. He's a helping hand. I think he knows way more about the game than I do, so I'll probably rely on him to go into, yeah, I guess like some of the more nitty-gritty details as we go over some of these new announcements. We also have Chuck Fresco, and Chuck is one of my friends, fellow breeders from the CryptoKitty universe. That's how we met each other. And yeah, we've been exploring Axie Infinity together as well. So yeah, it's really great to have you guys on. So I think, yeah, we learned a little bit more about how Axie body parts correspond to different different battle moves. So this part, yeah, I guess I think Arctic understands this a little bit better. So yeah, maybe you want to give it a shot, kind of just do a quick synthesis of what we learned about the body parts and the moves.
All right, so it seems that every Axie has 10 movement points, which are the points are used with your parts. Like a common part takes up 1 point, rare 2 points, ultra rare 3 points, and legendary 4 points. So when you evolve your parts, you unlock more moves, but you can still use like the common move on a legendary part. So
that's interesting. So you can never lose a move. You can only gain a move by upgrading that body part.
Yeah, I think so. So there'll be a lot of strategy around that, and just infinity options really on your battle strategies there.
Really, really interesting. Okay, I think that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, I think we're gonna be learning a little bit more about that. But yeah, I think if that makes sense. So something like this, this system ensures that if someone has 3 legendaries on their Axie, they won't be able to bring all of those moves to battle, right? They'll be able to choose those moves before the battle and have greater, I guess, different pairing options, but. I guess it would be a little bit too OP if someone could bring 3 legendary moves into battle or something like that.
It seems the most you can bring is 2 legendary moves, and then along with that, 2 common moves.
Yeah, so if you use 2 legendaries, you're gonna have to use 2 commons as well.
So like 1-star moves or whatever.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Gotcha.
Look into some of these new announcements then. So yeah, we learned a little bit about these new things that that can happen in battle. So, and a little bit about how battles actually work from a logical standpoint. So yeah, I guess in battle, so the Axies use their moves in a preset order. I believe you can set the order that your Axies use their moves in, and once a move is used, it'll go to the back of the rotation. That's what this little diagram is showing.
Yes,
So Puff he'll do his Puff charge, and then he'll do his snack, and then he'll use his Puff shield. Right, so it's kind of like he's attacking a little bit, and then maybe he's doing some life steal when he's like defending, and then he's going for the kill shot. Right, that's kind of how I interpret this.
Yeah.
Yep, and then after he uses Aqua Shot, it'll go back to Puff Charge and just keep.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's really cool. Yeah, I really love this Sun Tzu quote. I actually told Arctic to download the Art of War app.
Yeah, so
I guess that's what you're saying. So the order that they attack in will be determined by
the hardback
by their speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after you use a move, it's sent to the last slot in the queue.
But basically, it's very interesting to note that every move has its own attack stat and its own defense stat and its own accuracy stat. So basically, some moves are going to be better for defending, like for tanks, they're going to be able to defend better when they get attacked. While if you have a really strong and powerful attack move, it leaves you open to a really like a defensive liability, basically. So it kind of is balanced in that you can attack really strong, but if your defense is weak, like right there in that example, you have a 23 to 13 defense, so he's going to deliver 10 damage right there from just that example. So you have to look at the moves and their stats to really determine how you're gonna strategize your Axie for battle.
Yeah, this is going to be super interesting, I think, and I think people are going to have a lot of fun playing around with different strategies. And obviously, because of the genetic diversity of the Axies, the potential is endless.
Yeah, the move pool is going to be ridiculous, I feel.
So that's the thing, is that this game could theoretically, balance itself pretty well, because, I think a game only gets stuck when something is uncounterable and you can't like create a new character, right? Or for example, in Clash Royale, there's no new card that can be created. But in Axie Infinity, if someone has a crazy team that's very winning a lot, the other top breeders or top players can breed teams that are specifically designed to counter that team, right? So I think nothing will be overpowered for too long, because of breeding, the teams will constantly be evolving.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some other, I guess, mechanisms that were announced. So in battle, your moves can miss. I believe that skill determines the accuracy of your attack. Counters can happen. How is a counter triggered? Is that just like a passive or something like that? Or is something that can come with a body part? Or
I don't think you can increase your counter chance through the morale stat, but it's probably just a percentage chance.
Yeah, it's a percentage one, I believe. I think that's what makes morale so strong, is that it can make a counter possibility just keep increasing to a certain percentage. So I think that's pretty interesting.
So the pure beast Axie that exists will have a very high crit chance and a high counter chance. Is that true?
That's the vibe I'm getting about that.
Okay,
awesome.
And then maybe you could crit counter too, like who knows?
Yeah, and critical hits are double the damage, as you can see right there. That's pretty nuts. Dang.
Yeah, crits are going to be fun to land some crazy ones, especially with like a really interesting move. I really like this mechanic as well, Last Stand.
Oh no, my gosh, that move is going to be so crazy.
like birds, that's going to be really useful for birds, because birds, they have very low HP, so they'll probably die. But if they can do some crazy things during their last stand, then it'll make it worth it, right?
Yeah.
So this is actually something that could assuage my fears of adding birds to my deck. I was a little bit nervous about their low HP stats.
And I believe morale also increases the number of turns during last stand. Last stand pretty much means that they'll go into this default final mode when their HP drops to 0. And basically nothing can kill them at that point until they run out of their last stand. And morale determines how many turns they're in that mode.
Right, so there are 4 base stats for each Axie. Hit points is pretty self-explanatory. Speed, that's what determines an Axie's attack priority in battle. Skill, that's like accuracy. Bugs have the highest skill, I believe. And then there is morale, which is what we were just talking about, and it increases critical hit chance as well as counter chance. And as we were speaking about, a number of last stand turns. That's really cool. Morale is definitely like my favorite stat right now. Here we have a nice little cool preview of what the battles might look like, 3v3. And yeah, the positioning is going to be super important. So it looks like, yeah, they have Puff up front, kind of tanking against this reptile. And it looks like Ginger is kind of like the ranged support. I think we've seen art of Ginger actually launching that fish as a projectile.
Yeah, he must have a move that allows him to do range.
Kotaro's just chilling. But I think it's also interesting in that graphic, the arenas are 2 different terrain types, so perhaps that'll be another element of strategy.
What the heck? Oh, man.
Like if you can bring your own arena modifier buff to your side.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah. So there's also, in addition to also just being strong moves, there's also going to be type disadvantages and advantages. And as you can see there, Beast and Bug have an advantage over Reptile and Plant. And vice versa, Reptile and Plant have an advantage over Aquatic and Bird. So each one of them, I feel they're definitely trying to balance them so no class is overpowered. So I'm just very surprised that, or I guess it makes sense that Aquatic and a Bird eat a bug, so that's why they're strong against it. Oh, man.
Yeah, so basically if something is pure reptile or pure beast, that also means that it can get wrecked by,
But I think one thing they mentioned was there will be reptile moves or plant moves that counter beast and bugs, so if you're lucky enough to get one of those, that could be a good counter move.
Yeah. Oh,
and just a whole nother level there.
Wow. So wait, Arctic, just to clarify, from this passage alone, what does it tell you really? Is it determined by the moves they have, whether they're weak against them, or is just being a type just naturally make your move stronger against another? Do you happen to?
I think they mean being a type makes, like, you get just a general, like a reptile gets a general buff against an aquatic.
Oh wow! Even regardless of the move type you have, it will just get a buff to it.
Yeah, regardless of the part class, I think.
Regardless of the amount of body parts too, or no? That's. You know what I'm saying? So is it just like a reptile gets a default, bonus, or does a reptile get more? You know what I'm saying? Like, does a pure reptile? Because that's what they're implying by saying a pure class Axie is a double-edged sword. It may have insane stats, but sometimes it leads to vulnerable positions. So,
yeah, I think they just mean general class, not including the parts. I could be wrong, but that's how I read it.
Well, okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
It's amazing that you can go separate ways. It almost reminds me a little bit of Diablo 2, where you could just branch off to different paths, and based off the path.
That's true.
Yeah,
like I would have so much fun doing crazy builds in Diablo 2.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I got the vibe from branching. So you have to make a choice. Like, do you want to go this path or this path, and see what happens?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess so. This is an example of the branching evolution. So we have a bookworm, I believe is the name of that eye trait, and that can mutate either into this, I guess, sunglasses,
golden sunglasses,
or this eye. You also see that I believe that's the lagging horns can evolve or be upgraded either into this single kind of stag beetle horn or this double horn, which is pretty cool. And this shell, what is that part called again?
I think the Mystic version, Starry Shell.
Yeah, I know it's Starry Shell. Okay, this is the normal version of Starry Shell, and that can turn either into this, really
shell.
Cool snail, bigger snail shell, or these ladybug wings. So that's super interesting.
The only thing that saddens me about this image is that they didn't show what fire ant or the ant tail becomes.
I guess that might be a surprise.
Someone said snail shell is what it's called. Trunk said it.
Snail shell. That's it. Yeah. pretty inspired. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, I think so. These were the images that were released, but I think we actually have a little bit of a surprise for you guys, a little bit of a treat. And Masamune has actually provided us some sneak peeks of other branched evolutions. So I believe, Chuck, do you have them now? Are you able to? I think the best plan would be to maybe upload them to the Discord.
Yeah, I'll upload them right now as you show them right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the first one. Whoa.
Wow, that's pretty cool. The arrows in the
Okay.
The arrows, Arctic. That's the thing I told you about earlier. Something. The arrows look so cool.
That's
So this is an example of the branching evolution with the beast class, or a lot of beast parts, right? So this is Cottontail. And it looks like that can either turn into this like foxtail. Oh my god, the foxtail is beautiful.
Yeah.
Or this little, that looks kind of like a red panda tail or something.
Mhm.
that's a ginger tail, yeah.
Very bushy.
Part
That's
made
pretty
of
cool.
ginger.
I also heard a little bit of hype about monkey ears being released in the future. And I guess like a
What?
monkey Axie being potentially possible as a subset of the beast class.
Oh man.
Awesome. So okay,
Yeah,
this looks really
part
cool. So these are the zeal eyes. I guess those can turn into
Whatever those are.
He looks like he's
these are
squinting.
awesome. So Masamune says that he's been, paying very close attention to what the community thinks about the various body parts.
Mhm.
And so some of the ones that we already really love will go minimal kind of change as they get upgraded, and others, hopefully like the Unko head will be, given a bit more of a makeover.
Yeah, like I see right there, like the little eyes become really big in one of the versions of it, like an
Okay,
owl.
do you have another one now?
Sure, yeah, I can upload it right now.
Oh, very cool.
Oh.
Broken egg from the egg corn.
Yeah, right. That's what I was telling you. Oh man.
Oh man. Okay, so this is so these are birds. Birds are very exciting. They're pretty rare right now. I think there are less than 50 or so origin birds in existence. So this is an example of branching evolution. So this broken eggshell can turn either into this sunny side.
Oh yeah.
Sunny side egg. I think that's what the name of the trait should be. Sunny side. I like that.
maybe it
And
heals
then,
you.
I think this is really cool. It's like a bushy head as well.
Mm.
I really like that one. It looks like bushy feathers. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, this Mavis. Oh man, this is like my favorite aesthetic bird combination right here.
Yeah, it looks kind of crazy.
Wow. Dude, Masamune is a genius, man. Okay.
Yeah, such
This is
great
pretty
art.
funny too. I like that some of them are like a little bit trolly.
Yeah.
This is Heart Cheek also, what is the name? What is the name of the non-mystic Heart Cheek?
Let me find it real quick.
Red heart.
Anyways, so it's the non-mystic Heart Cheek, and
It's
yeah,
called
these are the
Pink Cheek.
outcomes.
Pink
So
cheek.
in none,
Pink
so the
cheek.
cool thing is that actually there will be branching evolution for legendaries as well, but we have seen none of the legendary,
Yeah.
none of legendary traits
We've
yet,
seen
except
winter
for
branches.
the
Yeah,
ones
that's
that
it.
were released, with the site initially. The Thorny Crown, is that what it's called?
I think it's called Spirit Crown.
Spirit Crown, yeah, Spirit Crown.
Yeah, what's up with that? Why haven't we seen any of the mystic ones?
Yeah,
I think they want to
I think-
leave that for us to
So I
find.
think we are going to have to discover those ourselves. I don't
What
think
the-
we're going to have it that easy. Yeah, definitely. I had one last thing that I wanted to share. It's actually something from Masamune that he wants us to start speculating on.
What
So
was it?
apparently, certain body parts will kind of synergize to give interesting little bonuses. For example, so I was thinking like maybe Crimson Gecko plus Escaped Gecko, right? Or I guess that this it's that kind of idea is like if you have two gecko, two parts that are both gecko, like you might get a nice little.
Oh, yeah. They're
That
both
makes
mystic parts or whatever, or
I guess it wouldn't necessarily have to be that.
As long as it's
That's just
gecko.
one combo that comes up.
Yeah.
Or yeah, what about like for example, even Masamune was talking about the monkey that is going to be released, and I think potentially if you have all 4 monkey parts, that will give a little bit of a battle bonus. Does that make sense? So that actually is kind of in a way a little bit of a fancy system where you're trying to breed for a combination of traits for a specific bonus. But unlike fancies, I guess like in CryptoKitties, where once you make it, it's just kind of a work of art, and all the other ones are the same. These, I guess, quote unquote fancies or sets. I think it's better to think of it as a set. Will have bonuses.
Yeah.
Right. So even it's kind of like in Diablo, right? Like you could have, you would use like the unique items, or certain classes and characters would do really well with the set items, right?
Oh yeah, the set. You have to complete the set in order for you to get the extra bonuses or whatever.
Thinking about it a little bit, like kind of sets of things. Yeah,
because I've seen different pieces that are the same for different parts, so I think those would be considered part of a set, I guess you could say. So
yeah, like there's the Nutcracker ears and the Nutcracker mouth,
like that.
for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
So getting them both together now will help you maybe have a 2-piece out of maybe 4, and then you can combine it with another 2-piece and try to make a 4-piece together or whatever.
Yeah, and I bet that we will have to discover these buffs and sets through breeding. Like they're not going to tell us, like kind of just like fancies have to be discovered.
Yeah. I think I think there's still a lot.
This is gonna be really fun.
There's still a lot to be like seen in this game, and I think they're keeping everything under wraps still. So we'll see what they.
Yeah, but they definitely want us to speculate about that a little bit.
Crazy.
I love how they just feed us little tidbits of life.
Just little things to speculate on. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Awesome, guys. Well, yeah. I think so. We're at about an hour now, and thanks for tuning in. I think these will get smoother and better over time. But so totally appreciate you guys for stopping by, and hope you guys had fun. And we will be doing more streams as new announcements are made. So stay tuned.